Alright, so we're going to be talking some Nigerian women's football in this one. On today's roster, we got the Super Falcons, who now know their second round opponents in women's AFCON qualification. Next, we got the Flamingos of Nigeria, our under 17 girls team, as they get closer to their World Cup qualification doubleheader against South Africa. We've already talked about this match, but we try to get you guys up to speed on everything else in this video. And last but definitely not least, we have some really tough news involving one of our young Super Falcon stars. So stay tuned to the end. But first, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Thank you very much. So yeah, first we're going to talk about the Super Falcons. And the Super Falcons will be taking on Benin Republic in the second round of women's AFCON qualification. The Super Falcons actually got a bye in the first round, meaning they didn't have to play in the first round. And their second round matchup was going to be between Sierra Leone and Benin Republic. Benin Republic came out on top at the end, 5-2 on aggregate. The first leg was played in Togo. That was supposed to be the one played in Benin Republic. That ended 2-1 in favor of Benin Republic. Then they go to Liberia for the match that was supposed to be played in Sierra Leone, and that ended 3-1 in favor of Benin Republic. So 5-2 on aggregate. They get the all-time champions of African women's football in the Super Falcons. So that's a real tough matchup for them. Winner of this one goes to the WAFCON. So it's win or go home basically right here. The first leg will be played, both legs will be played in October of this year. The 20th of October will be the first leg. That will be the away leg, so might just be Togo again for Benin Republic. Then the second leg, which will be played in Nigeria, will be played on the 28th of October, so a week away. But I feel like the main issue when it comes to the Super Falcons is what's the NFL gonna do? Are you going to act like this international break that just passed, the 17th to the 26th, which was yesterday of February? No action when there was actually a chance for 3 matches to be played. We played 0, no camping, no nothing. If that continues, I don't know. I mean, we have good players. They play in good clubs, so they'll continue their levels. But will they be able to take the Super Falcons to the next level, which is the question. I don't think so. So we need to get our stuff together when it comes to the NFF. We got some breaks coming up. There's one from the 31st of March to the 8th of April. The next break, is going to be from the 31st of March to the 8th of April. 2 matches you can play in that break. Then you got from the 26th of May to the 3rd of June, another 2 matches. Then there's a window for competitions and things like that. So we got to fill those slots up if we're really trying to do something with the Super Falcons. If we're not, like I've said previously, just let us know that we're not. And let's understand when the team wins the AFCON, the women's AFCON, and doesn't do much at the World Cup, we understand that it's because of that, and not make it seem like they're just local champions or something. So that's how I feel about that situation right there. And we move on to the Flamingos. The Flamingos will be taking on Botswana of South Africa in 2 legs of Women's World Cup qualifiers, the Under 17 Women's World Cup qualifiers. First leg will be played on Saturday, the 8th of March. 2 p.m. Nigerian time will be the start of the game. It will be played 3 p.m. over there in South Africa because the game will be played at the Lucas Moripe Stadium in Pretoria, South Africa. So how they got to this point, the Flamingos got a bye in the first round. South Africa played Gabon. They defeated them by 21-2 on aggregate. Just a whitewash. And that's how this was set up. Now, for me personally, I'm not a fan of it. I would rather see Nigeria and South Africa both have individual chances to get to the World Cup without having to go through each other. But this is the way it is and the way it has to be. Nigeria will be taking on South Africa. The Flamingos have been in camp for a while now. They've played a number of friendlies, winning those. So they're looking good to go. And speaking of good to go, Peace F. Young returned for a club side. She was on the list for players that were supposed to be in camp. I guess she was not in camp because she picked up an injury. And like I said, she was in the lineup for Rivers Angels in their last matchup. And she scored 2 goals, I believe added an assist to her tally in the game. And I feel like that's what makes it kind of tough right there for Rivers Angels. You're not just talking about a youth player that barely gets in. You're talking about a key member of your team that has to go to the under 17 camp. Imagine if Yamal had to leave Barcelona and go to the under 17 camp like right before they play Atletico Madrid or something like that. That would be a real tough thing to accept right there. But that being said, hopefully she does return to camp because she's a big player also for the Flamingos. Moving on, last but not least, we talk about the sad news. Super Falcon player, young player, injured. And that player's name is Nicole Payne. Nicole Payne, of course, with Portland Torrens currently on loan from PSG, but played with Portland Torrens last season, was set to play with them this season, and she picked up an injury before the season could even start. Real sad news right there. Sending out prayers to Nicole Payne and her family, for Nicole Payne and her family, because this is a real tough situation. And not just any type of injury. If it was just like an ankle injury or something like that, you could even understand. Even a broken bone here and there, you could understand. But this is a real tough one. ACL tear is what Nicole Payne picked up. And if you know anything about ACL injuries, this is a long-term type injury. You're going to be out for almost a year just about. Dealing with an ACL situation, and her club basically confirmed that with this press release right here. They're saying she's on the season-ending injury list, and when you look at the list, you see 3 players there. All 3 are suffering from knee injuries. The first one, they don't say if it's an ACL, but the other 2 are definitely ACL injuries, Nicole Payne and Mary Mueller. So I don't know if there's something going on over there in Portland. Is there something in the water or something that players are just picking up knee injuries up and down? But like I said, this is definitely a tough one. It's going to be mentally grueling because you're out of action. You're a player. You want to play, but now you can't play. You can't really do much. You got to sit at home and even wait till it's time to start rehabbing, moving around. At least you'll be happy to rehab and actually do some activities, but till then you really just have to sit around. And you got to be really mentally tough for this right here, because for me, I feel like this was going to be a season. This was going to be a breakout season in the NWSL. She looked good last season, had some good matches. Her matchup with Rachel Kundunanji, one of the best players in the African continent, she held her own in that matchup right there. So I was expecting big things this season, maybe some improvements going forward and stuff like that. But we don't get to see any of that, which is such a shame, such a big shame right there. But let me know your thoughts on these 3 situations. Super Falcons of Nigeria taking on Benin Republic in the final round of women's AFCON qualifiers. You got the Flamingos of Nigeria taking on Botswana of South Africa in women's World Cup qualifiers, under 17 women's World Cup qualifiers. And of course, the devastating news, the injury, Nicole Payne. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.